must remember, in a time such as this, we are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy. We are sane.
Well, what's that old saying? If you have to say it. I don't think the party that thinks dudes can become women if they chop their penises off can really lay much of a claim to be the sane party. They are insane. We felt the need to have a talk tonight. There's a couple things that have popped up recently. A talk we've had before about Democrats in the United States of America. It's not just the AOCs and Mamdanis and Bernie Sanderses of the world. Democrats in the United States of America. If we hung out, you and me, say we go to Red Lobster together, and I sat down and I told you to your face that I believed if I held my breath, I could turn invisible. When I hold my breath, my body just disappears and nobody can see me. What would you think about me? Would you think that I was sane or I was insane? Of course, you'd think I was insane. Why? Now, why? Why would you use that word to describe me, insane? Because I believe something that's not true. It's an easily verifiable thing that's not true. It's just not true, and yet I'm so brainwashed, I've chosen to believe it. Democrats are insane now. A lot of this is because of the university system that has broken their brains, the media that breaks their brains, Democrat politicians who break their brains. The reason the Democrat in your life, the liberal Aunt Peggy in your life, whether she's in your home or maybe you work with her or whoever it may be, mom, dad, brother, son, the reason they're so angry, the reason they constantly spew things that are just simply not true at all is because they have been bludgeoned with lies. They live in a world of lies, and now they've lost their freaking minds. No different than me holding my breath telling you that I'm now invisible. This is how it works. Why are these people so angry, so miserable, taking it to the streets? No King's rallies. Well, because the system has told them for years they're up against Hitler.
Donald Trump is America's Hitler.
A unified Reich? That's Hitler's language. That's not America's. He cares about holding on to power. I care about you.
Donald Trump is acting like a Nazi, talking like a Nazi, and now posting like a Nazi.
And by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says Make America Great Again, that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Adolf Hitler was interviewed, and I'm quoting from his article where he was interviewed. He said, "Therefore I say America is for Americans." Stephen Miller took the stage on Sunday evening, and he said, "America is for Americans." He is parroting the exact words of Adolf Hitler.
Those words have had an effect, and the effect has been devastating for the United States of America, because now it's not that we have just Republicans and Democrats, we have sane people and insane people. The insane people have been brainwashed and bludgeoned by lie after lie after lie after lie. Now they're all anxiety-ridden, angry, bitter. It's why they're turning violent, because they've been told it's Hitler, Hitler, Hitler. It's part of the reason we have this government shutdown going on. We'll ask Senator Marsha Blackburn about that in a few minutes, but why would you shut down the government? What's the whole point? It's not even getting you popular. The polls are not looking good for Democrats. Why would you shut down the government? Well, you've told Democrat voters that you're fighting against Hitler, and now Democrat voters demand that you fight as if you're fighting against Hitler. No, shut the government down. And they know, Democrats know, smart, sane Democrats, if there are any, politicians, they understand that it has really put them in a bind. And you're starting to see every now and then one will pop up in an attempt to turn the volume down just a little bit on it. Here was J.B. Pritzker.
I haven't suggested that Donald Trump is Hitler. I wouldn't say
I don't think any Democrat has. I actually, And I think it's a smear that they project back on to critics. But J.D. Vance called Donald Trump cultural heroin. He called him America's Hitler. I mean, the attacks on Donald Trump as a fascist came from 3 generals who worked for him. I mean, the most brutal critiques have come from people that have seen him far more closely than you or I combined.
Oh, no Democrat has. But this is what I'm talking about, the world of make-believe. You just 2 minutes ago watched a video. We could have made that video an hour of Democrat after Democrat after Democrat lying, Hitler, Hitler, Nazi Hitler, Nazi Hitler. And then when it puts them in a bind, then they try to turn the volume down a little. Well, we've never done that. No one will do that. But this world of make-believe, they lie like they breathe. They have created a fake world in the mind of the average Democrat voter who believes Donald Trump is the spawn of Satan. And now they all try to run against him. It's all they can do. Because it doesn't matter if you're running for dog catcher as a Democrat, state representative, governor, mayor, House, Senate, President of the United States of America, your followers have been so brainwashed. Democrat voters have been so brainwashed to believe that Donald Trump is the sum of all fears that they all run against him exclusively now. And it's going to put them in another bind. When 2028 comes around, Donald Trump won't be there. He's just not going to be there. So what do you do if you're a Democrat? Well, what they're doing now, Gavin Newsom's been doing it all over the country, is again, you just play pretend. You just make it up. Oh, he's running again.
If you have a Speaker Johnson, we may have a third term of President Trump. I really believe that.
He doesn't really believe that. He knows that's ridiculous. But you know what else he knows? Poll numbers. He has them sitting right in front of him. You know what every single poll shows? Every single poll of Democrat voters, when they poll Democrats, you know their number one issue for Democrats? It's not the cost of living, border, taxes, or abortion, any of the other things you think. You know the number one thing Democrats care about the most? Fighting Donald Trump. So programmed, so brainwashed for all these years, it's all they care about now. So if you're Gavin Newsom and you want to be president of the United States of America, you can't run on issues. Shoot, you can't even run against J.D. Vance or whoever the nominee may be. All the voters care about, all Democrat voters care about, is fighting Donald Trump. So you've built such a world of lies, you have no choice but to keep it going. He's running again. He's running again. We get to vote for me. We'll stop Trump. I'll be the one who stops Trump. It's all they can do. Lie about everything all the time. Now, before we move on, talk to Senator Marsha Blackburn. I want to touch on something. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is an anti-human. Has been for a very long time. You've seen, I don't know how many pieces of video on this show of Bill Gates talking about reducing the population, getting the population down, of course, all in the interest of climate change. Bill Gates is trying to change his tune now. Here he was.
Climate is a super important problem. There's enough innovation here to avoid super bad outcomes. We have to frame it in terms of overall human welfare, not just everything should be solely for climate. If you think climate is the only problem and it's apocalyptic, or if you think climate's not a problem at all, my memo will make no sense to you. You'll be like, oh no, it should all be climate, or you'll be like, why are you even still talking about this climate thing? Why do you invest billions of your money into these companies? The middle position that climate is super important, but has to be considered in terms of overall human welfare. I didn't pick that position because it's everybody agrees with it. It's, I think, intellectually the right answer.
Let me explain something. Bill Gates is still an anti-human. Bill Gates has invested all that money into it because the idea that man is changing the climate has made him a fortune. And Bill Gates hasn't changed his beliefs at all. But you know what he also knows? Republicans currently are in charge of the government. Republicans will probably remain in charge of the government. If he wants to remain in the good graces of the U.S. government, getting all those grants and permissions and things like that billionaires need, he can't wage war on prosperity. So instead, he tries to backtrack it. I don't trust Bill Gates as far as I can throw him, and neither should you. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.